These are the boots that I used on my Greenland ski expedition. I skied across Greenland with my buddy Terry Williams in our, I wouldn't say record breaking, but we're a bunch of older guys. We're some of the oldest teams that ever skied across Greenland, and I wanted to show you the ski boots that I brought and he brought to do our expedition. Now these boots have nearly 2,000 miles on them. They're starting to get pretty roughed up. I might actually get a new pair eventually, but as you can see, for 2,000 miles, they've worked quite well. I have the wool car tankers in them, and they work pretty well, except when it gets extremely cold. Terry's boots, instead of that, he had Intuition boot liners. Oh boy. His feet were nice and toasty, and I have to admit mine were a little bit chilly. Even though I enjoyed the car tankers in Antarctica, the Arctic was actually colder many times because when the sun set or it got dark, whoa, boy, it's super, super freezing. So as you can see here, these are the 3-pin systems. I prefer the 3-pin systems to the triple N because I could repair a break or something wrong with a 3-pin binding. But with the triple N binding, that tears out. I've seen people suffer through it. No, thank you. So you can see there, I'll show you how much this boot weighs. It's made out of leather, has nylon here. I waterproof it, but I don't really need to waterproof it. But you can see that the tip's pretty ground off. I'm going to weigh one boot for you here. Hold. All right, these bad boys weigh a lot. 1.3 kilos or 3 pounds, and that's just for one boot. Now, be aware that all ski boots are super, super heavy. You can see this is really not anything for ankle support at all. This is a dedicated cross-country long-distance ski boot. It is one of the only 2 boots recommended by Antarctic Logistics and Expeditions. Now, do you need this type of boot for super ski expeditions? Probably not. You can use your backcountry boots. You can use your Dynafit style binding boots. But if you really want to be efficient and go long distance, it's really hard to beat this type of binding. Let me show you what the bindings look like on my skis. Oops, just stabbed my ceiling. There you go. That's what the binding looks like on the skis. And if I can get it in there, one of the problems is because my boots are older, getting those 3 pins locked in are pretty painful. So you can see it there. Terry, because his boots are new and not broken in, he had no problems getting his boots in there. He could kick the ice out. But mine are so worn that, oh man, it's really, really hard to get the ice in there. But see, it's a very, very simple system. Virtually nothing to go wrong. You just simply flip that open and voila. At Old Camp in Kangerlussuaq, Greenland, I did see a couple people who had broken bindings and they were able to wire it together. So that is the thing, you want to make sure to have some sort of repair ability in your skis because, well, you could have a problem with that. Now, these are the skis that I used on my new expedition, and I've got the standard bindings, so you can see that. I'll talk about that in another video. But these 3 pins are where it's at for me because there's basically no failure mechanism other than the toe bail that could possibly fail on those boots compared to triple N. They've got triple N have those slides and all sorts of stuff, so that's just me. I mean, these are pretty crazy. You have to order them from Norway. They're mind-blowingly expensive. Would I go with the wool car tankers or would I go with the Intuition liners next time? I think the Intuition liners. I'm gonna have to buy myself a pair because there are many times where my feet were freezing and Terry's going along like, yeah, no problem. But when it gets super hot, the temperatures are wild in the Arctic, where in the morning, freezing cold, and by the afternoon, we're sweating and almost gonna pass out. So I would actually go with the Intuition liners next time. I'm gonna order them simply because I don't want to have cold feet. That is such a distraction and a risk. Hot feet, okay, sweat, you can get blisters, there's a problem, but I might have wool car tankers as a backup if we get some super warm days because they're not that heavy. So I just wanted to show you on my Greenland trip the boots that I used. Check out links below to aaronlindsdu.com/Greenland, where you too can learn about all the expedition gear I took to Greenland, and that way you can enjoy your outdoor winter activities too.